You are still the richest chef in
That
India.
does not matter.
But you don't seem to care about that.
I don't.
You're good with money, but you're not extravagant on yourself.
My daughters would love to differ. They say, inheritance क्यों उड़ा रहे हो?
Why did you do MasterChef?
Why did I do?
Huh.
Why did I not do? When it first came to me, my condition they did not meet,
What was your condition?
that I should get paid more than Akshay Kumar. 1 rupee more.
This was like an ego thing, no? One
No,
rupee
that's
kya
not.
hota hai? Why did you leave?
My brother pushed me. My last drawn salary check was 10,000 rupees.
Really?
Yes. Between Alyona and I, our bank balance was less than 1 lakh rupee.
And you were the most famous chef in India at that time.
Once I quit, I realized that I should have quit 3 years ago.
When you look at the Indian food scene today, do you think we've come a long way or do you think we lost our way?
We have not gone anywhere.
Explain that.
So for many years, we were suffering from shame that we are Indian. Anything Indian was a shame. Our biggest strength is our biggest problem.
Which is?
We have too much.
Either you're trustworthy or you're not.
I think you have to work on it. All the decisions that you take, every time at 3 a.m. in the morning when no one is seeing and it's red on the road, but you still stop because it's the right thing to do.
How did you get the Padma Shri and how did you feel?
It came down to 2 names,
Who were the two?
Chef Imtiaz Qureshi
Yeah.
and Chef Sanjeev Kapoor.
Rolling. Hello and welcome to Table 1. What do you say to a living legend? My guest today is a living legend. It's no exaggeration to say that if he hadn't come around, he hadn't changed how we think about food, this show would not exist. That's how large his impact on how we look at food has been. Chefs owe him a lot, but so I think do the rest of us. My guest is, of course, the great Sanjeev Kapoor.
Oh my God, what pressure this
That's
is.
true, but no.
No. I think you've always been very kind and I respect what you do and what you say. So
Thank you.
I'm going to take all your statements with great responsibility and humility is all I
You know
can
me
say.
well enough to say that I don't bullshit.
No,
If
no,
I
no.
don't mean it, I won't say it.
No. I really appreciate and thank you very much.
But are you conscious, Sanjeev, that you change the perceptions of chefs, you change our perception of food, that there would be no podcast like this one. I wouldn't be doing popular columns about food if it hadn't been for you.
I don't know. I think when I started, I don't think that was the intent. It was not something that...
No, I agree. But that's the effect, no?
Yeah, it just happened. And maybe everything worked in a way that I could get some credit. I think there are many things.
You're just being modest. Let's start with the chronological sequence. I first met you when you were chef at the Centaur.
Right,
It
that's
was a
correct.
chef's conference. You came on stage to share a podium with Chef Satish Arora. And unlike many people who were quite arrogant, you said, I'm nervous sitting talking to a man like Arora, which I thought was a very sweet thing to do and a very humble thing to do. I knew then that you started a show on ZTV. I knew then that it had been popular. And at that stage, I think people don't necessarily remember this. Chefs were people who stayed in the kitchen. They never came out. The people who did these shows were like, and to the extent that there were these shows, were cookery writers, possibly film stars, people like that. The actual working chef never came out of a kitchen and did something like this, let alone make it so popular and become a guru to millions of Indians. How did it all happen? How did it start?
I think it was... there was a new TV channel when I was working. I had come to Mumbai. I used to live in New Zealand. And I used to be with ITDC back then. And I realized that I had achieved my professional peak in that sense very early. And that bothered me. That bothered me to an extent that what am I doing? What is it that I should... I can't see myself that for now, next 30, 40 years, I'll be an executive chef. That bothered me. And for that, I thought I have to study more. So I joined close to the hotel. I used to go for evening classes at Narsi Munji, Masters in Marketing Management.
Really?
Yes, I enrolled in that. Went through the whole motions of entrance exam, group discussion, interview, all of that. I was the oldest in class then. But I knew that if I didn't do something which was different, it'll frustrate me. And there was a new TV channel that was being launched, and an opportunity came to appear in one episode of that.
Okay.
That's it. But when it came to me, I started to discuss, I wanted to know more, and they shared with me the name of the show, and it was Shriman Bawarchi. And here I was studying Masters in Marketing Management, talking about that, and we were reading Zig Ziglar, L. Rees about positioning and things like that. And Shriman Bawarchi, in any case, it was a big struggle to tell people that you are a chef, who is a chef, that kind of thing. So I said, I will not do this. And the producer director said, what do you mean? Everyone is so excited. This is the first time something like this is happening. And everyone is saying yes, but I said, I don't like the name. So, are you serious? I said, yes, I'm serious. This is the reason. And I suggested few names, and he had a co-producer, who's an Australian guy. And he said, hold on, what did you say? Khana Khazana? He said, I don't know what the hell it means, but phonetically it sounds very good. So I gave that name, and they went to the channel. Channel rejected. He said, no. We know what we are doing. It's our show, our name. They came back. I said, if this is the name, I'm not doing the show. I said, maybe you did not sell it to the channel
the
right way. Let me come with you. I went there. I explained. So I sold Khana Khazana name to them, and they agreed on that. And came back. And when we came back, Hansal Mehta, who's a big
name now.
Big name now, he said, I want to start the show with you. I have met all chefs. I think first episode I want to do with you. I said, fair enough, because I was probably taking more interest than any other chef. We did that show at Centaur Hotel kitchen. I remember our Shakari restaurant kitchen, all full steel. We shot with one actress as a host and I am as a chef. We cooked a full day. We filmed. And at the end of the shift, Hansal says, this is not working. What is not working? He says, no. Your reactions are very good, but the host who's with you, her reactions are not very good. Why don't we do this? You become the host and we'll get chefs with you. I don't know anything. Whatever you say. So we shot 3 episodes like that.
I've heard this story many times, but I've never heard who the actress was.
We have made it a point not to share that.
Yeah, I've never heard anybody admit to the
You
actress.
cannot Google it.
Even 30, that's right.
Yes, you
35
cannot.
years later or something. So
Yes.
nobody knows who the actress was. You
That's
will
it.
not reveal.
I will not.
All right.
Yeah.
So when you first faced the cameras, how confident were you? How difficult was it?
I was pathetic.
Come on.
Okay. I was, the way they wanted me.
Yeah.
I think I was really bad. There was an expectation from me, and I didn't know this field. I had no clue. So I was given a script. There was a script writer. I was given a script for the opening of the episode. And it was, we were to film that on Juhu Beach, right behind the hotel. And early morning we went there, and I was given a jacket. It kind of looked like a raincoat printed. Really. Anyway, so we filmed for hours. And okay, I cannot memorize things. It's not that I cannot. I don't like to. And so the script was I had to memorize it. And I'd spent almost maybe 2 weeks doing that. And I was pathetic. I was really bad. Everyone was frustrated because I just couldn't do that opening. It was not cooking. It was just talking about introduction of the show. And then all this was done. Everyone was getting frustrated. I told Hansal, I said, can I say it in my words? He says, yeah, do that. And I just spoke what I wanted to speak, what I was feeling. I said, that's perfect. And that's it. It was, because I was used to public speaking. I was used to speaking in Hindi, English. It was not new to me. It was easy, but the expectation of me memorizing those lines, because that is how it used to be.
Yeah, always.
Always. So when I started that, after that, there was no expectation. Then it was easy.
But see, what I remember about those early shows is that there were people who did food shows, but the way you talked directly to camera and you connected with the viewer, it was like there was no television set, there was no camera. You were actually in their living rooms talking to them. That's a skill. It didn't just come naturally to you. Public speaking doesn't teach you that. Just talking to the camera is different.
No, actually, public speaking does.
Yeah.
So public speaking, especially when you are doing elocution debates, we used to have something called just a minute.
Okay.
So I used to be a champion of that. I could speak about any subject
For a minute?
for a minute without repeating a word.
Wow.
So I could do that. So what it does is that when you are doing it, you're not just doing it, you are doing it in front of people. And camera is people. If you just internalize that, and if you are used to it, then it's easy. And I think one thing why people connected was not just what I was speaking. I shared with you that I was studying marketing.
Right, yeah.
So earlier on, I had realized that this show was not about what I know. Why are people watching this? What is the reason for people to watch? Is it entertainment? Actually, back then it was how to. They wanted to know. So I only showed dishes which they could cook. They could not go wrong with. I would show very simple recipes in a simple way. I would teach them as a good teacher. And I also had experience of being a teacher.
How?
Okay. So when I started my journey as a chef in ITDC, we were not really taught by our team. The people who were there, they would say, "Acha beta, wahan se wo le aao." And the critical part is over, right? So people used to keep the uneducated, the skilled chefs, cooks, recipes close to their heart. They were very secretive. Yep. They would not share anything. So, and that was frustrating. So I went to Banaras for my understudy. I was 20 years old. And I made a promise to myself that whatever I would learn, and I was still learning then, I would teach that as soon as possible, no matter who it is to. Sometimes to my team, trainees, could be anyone. So by the time TV started, any job that I was in, I was teaching. So I was in New Zealand. Saturday, Sunday, lunches used to be closed. I used to take cooking classes on Indian food.
Okay.
Before that, at Samrat Hotel, where I used to work, once a week, Saturday, I used to go and teach. And this used to be for grooming classes to women. And I was doing grooming and cooking I was doing. When I had come to Centaur at SNDT College, Home Science, students I was teaching. So
but you enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. So I had few things going for me. I could cook, one. Yeah. I was doing easy dishes. I could teach. I could speak. And I could smile. You put that together, there's no reason for it to fail.
You were also, you're being very modest about yourself. Sometimes the camera just loves people. The camera loved you. You were also younger than you are today and good looking, which I think with a largely female audience helped.
Sure.
Yeah. Plus you were also, I remember this from Centaur, you were also incredibly sophisticated for that period when chefs on the whole were not. It's changed. There was a famous Centaur story, you can confirm if it's true or not, about a senior executive asking for an espresso. It's a true story?
It is a true story.
Okay, tell us. I don't have to name the guy, but tell us.
Okay. No. So this was the time when even big hotels, even Taj did not have where we are sitting today. Yeah. The proper coffee machines were not there.
That's right.
So there were machines with the same steam and all, and there was espresso meant jhag wali coffee.
Correct.
That's what it was. So at that time, our senior officer in our company,
Who I will not name.
yeah, will not name, nice guy, very nice. He asked for espresso, and by the time I had got a new machine, and there was a lot of resistance to get that machine from finance and all of that. And I said, no, I want good coffee, good coffee. And nobody was supporting that. And that was probably the first hotel in Bombay to get that coffee machine with proper coffee. So he asked room service for espresso, and sure enough, so room service guy came. He said, "नहीं sir, उनकी coffee है." I said, "क्या मांगा है?" तो espresso. मैंने कहा कैपेचिनो मांगी होगी, उनको कैपेचिनो अच्छी लगती है. नहीं सर, espresso मैंने कहा पूछ के आ जाओ फिर. He went. He said, नहीं espresso चाहिए. Okay, fine, fair enough. I said, ये लेके जाओ espresso, and gave that. And he fired the room service
he blew
guy.
his stack.
Yeah, he did that. And मैंने आपको बोला था. I said, no, don't worry. I'll speak to him. And I told him, I said, sir, you wanted cappuccino? No, I know my coffee. I wanted espresso. I said, sir, I gave you espresso. So anyway, I had to, no, don't teach me this and that, and this is how it is. I know what I'm talking, and I have lived outside India. I have done this. I said, sir, whatever, but I'm sharing this with you. He said, no. So next day, so I was working on a project for a very big book, which eventually that company folded up, Culinary. So we're working on Culinary India and Culinary Italy and Culinary Spain. I had those copies because the publisher had shared those copies with me, and it had everything about how, what, because internet was also hardly
didn't exist.
There. So I brought that book, shared that with him, and he was, oh my God, I did not know. And he was very nice about it. He said, I'm sorry, I didn't know, but this is what, and I thought that I knew all of this. So it is.
So I mean, the reason why the story is important is because it was a sign of those times that this is a person in the F&B business, has reached a senior position, yet and had never come across the difference in names, didn't know what was what. So you were in that environment an extremely sophisticated person. You'd worked in New Zealand, you'd eaten everywhere, you knew your Indian food, but you also knew other kinds of cuisine. You were equally at home in Hindi or in English. So even in that era, you were unusual as a chef, no?
Probably. So I didn't know when I was growing up that I'll become a chef. It was never part of the plan. It was not something. I was, I'll not be modest, I was good in studies. Okay, I was very good in studies. So it was not meant to be a chef. So part of what I have achieved also, I think, goes on to prove that intelligence is something which I think is a prerequisite to success. I think it is important, and we cannot undermine it. And and the reason why I say it loud is because I started to hear this: "You're good for nothing, so become a chef. वो तो कर ही लोगे." I said, no. If Indian chefs have to do well, we need good quality people also. People who are thinking type, who can study well, who can innovate, who can create. They are not just copying things, or they are just good at skills. They should be able to create things. It is, I think, I have always enjoyed learning. It's something which is, as a trainee at a Shok Hotel, and this is now many, I think, there was no internet, there was nothing. This is, I think, early 80s, 84, 85, I think. And our executive chef, there was an order from DCM group, Bharat Ram Charatram.
Okay.
Group, their family, they used to order, and they ordered something with tahini sauce.
Okay.
Nobody knew what tahini sauce is.
And there was no internet to Google it.
There was no internet to Google. Larousse Gastronomique was there in that scanned. How do you find? You don't know. There's not. Anyway, so I made, somewhere I had read, it had stayed with me. I made a calculated guess that, sir, shayad aise hota hai.
On the basis of what?
I would have read somewhere. Okay, so I read a lot, my subject, and my retention is very good. I've always been good. So I made a calculated guess. I was not 100% sure. I said, अब guess से तो नहीं पूछ सकते कि क्या है, कौन पूछेगा कैसे है. So anyway, we gave that dish. And that was the day that anything that, if you don't know anything, वो उससे पूछ लो, ट्रेनिंग है ना, उसको पता होगा शायद.
Even from then.
And that was something which then started to put pressure on me. Now I had to know everything. So I started to know everything about everything. You ask me anything, chances are I would know. And that is something which actually helped me. So my obsession with learning was always there, right from childhood. It kept on growing and it has not died. And I hope it stays like this.
Yeah, I know. I've been to Japan with you, and they did a whole tea ceremony because you said you'd heard about it and you wanted to know. And it was no conceivable use in your daily life, but you just had that hunger for knowledge.
Yes. Yeah, and look at everyone now talking about. I said, if you want to have matcha, then you have it the way that it is supposed to be had, not with sweetened condensed milk and cream and all. That's not matcha.
I'm talking about what, 15, 20 years ago,
Yeah,
and you were
maybe,
still
yeah.
interested.
Yeah.
I also remember we're talking about knowledge. They'd arranged a demonstration of tempura making for us.
Yes, there is.
And the guy who was making the tempura.
Oh my God, you remember that?
I remember that. The batter was kept in an ice thing. So it was cold. And I said to you, why is he doing that? And you said, because that will help make the tempura crisper. And I said, what a good idea. Why don't we do this for pakoras?
Yeah.
And you said, because pakoras are made from gram flour, from chicory flour, besan, and doesn't work. I said, why? You said, because the gluten in wheat is different. And I think, this guy knows his stuff.
Yeah, this is primitive knowledge. Let me say this.
I'm a primitive guy.
no, but in the sense, for chefs, if they don't know this. But what I'm surprised is
chefs
that...
do not know this. I've had this conversation with many chefs.
No, I actually had this. I was in Hyderabad 3 days ago, and it was a room full of chefs. And I'm doing one session tomorrow in Delhi. This was for a brand, and chefs, and I said, learn, and core. And I challenged them. I said, there was about 100 odd chefs in Hyderabad. I said, you talk of biryani here. How many of you know rice? If I showed you rice, can you identify? Which rice do you use? Yes, sir. I said, I guarantee. And I guarantee even now, 90% of the chefs don't know.
So what did you show them any rice?
No. I talk to them. They don't know. They're not taught. They don't.
But even about basmati, a subject to which you know a lot, they can't actually tell the difference between the Pusa generated varieties, which have no smell, nothing, and the original basmati.
Very, very difficult. You have to immerse into that. Forget, like I can ask for a few things here, and I can say that they would not know why. And it's not difficult. Yes. Do you have to get into detail? Yes, you have to get into detail. But I think people are happy not getting into detail because I think it does not matter that we are always looking at some benefit out of it.
Yeah.
So
what can we use this for?
So it's not problem with chefs. I think the industry is like this. So food industry, for example, this is many years ago. I got excited meeting a historian. And I was in a room and I said, oh my God, what wealth of knowledge this guy has. And I started talking to him. I met him and he was heading Oriental Institute of Oriental Studies, and we started talking, and we realized there is no serious work of historic value that is created, which generations can use on Indian food. So we decided to work on subject dietetics in ancient India. And I realized, started to meet historians, and I said, how do we do this? And I realized, they say, oh, you're talking ancient India. So that is not, so what you're talking mostly is 400-500 years. That's recent. That's new. So ancient is then. And then said, oh, okay. So how do we start? So we did something which till date remains great work for this country. We created a bibliography of all the written material that is available all across India in any library, anywhere, whether in form of journals, articles, manuscripts, whatever you name it. They, it's there, and we made a bibliography of that. And I wanted to tell everyone what I wanted to do. I said, okay, maybe we should be able to get sponsors for this very easily. And I spoke to big people, big companies, big food companies. They were not interested.
No?
No, zero. They said, do you have recipes in this? I said, I don't know. I said, some of them are in language that we don't understand. We need to, so what we did was we digitized everything. We did, first part was bibliography, then digitization of that. So we did that. And I said, now we need to employ historians. We need to do all this. And nobody said yes.
Because knowledge for knowledge's sake is not worth it.
Not worth it. How do we use it? Yeah, it's good. So you get excited. You're not. Because it does not move the needle for anyone.
I want to come back to the chronological stuff. We were at you deciding to do this show. I thought was interesting. I used to watch the show. Was that the recipes you took were recipes people often went to restaurants to eat because they didn't know how to make them at home. And you made it seem all so simple. So did you actually get the recipes and then sit down and say, how can I simplify this for the home cook?
No, so the way I used to do the recipes, largely, I would not pre-work on it.
Really?
Never.
Okay.
For that, you have to interview Hansel.
So then how would you do it?
So I would read. So I was still working. Right?
Yeah.
I was still working. So I would give about 3 days in 2 to 3 months and shoot 3 months quota. And I was busy. I was working. I was not. This was not my life. This was just part of what I was doing. So I would go and just before we have to film, we'll talk about dishes. मैंने ये खाया. Should we make it? हाँ. अरे mango season again. Why don't you do something with mangoes?
You do that late just before shooting?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I still do it the same way. I still do it. So my team used to hate me. They still do. Because this is aap kar do. Because I would be cooking and then I'll think and say, acha wo hai kya? So they say, if we have worked on recipes, if we have done this, I say, no, get everything. Whatever 200-300 ingredients are there. So broadly, we will know a little bit and then we will have discussion. And I'll just cook as if, and see, I'm a chef.
So it didn't just seem natural, it was natural.
It was 100% natural because it was not something that was rehearsed. And if anything had to go wrong, it will go wrong. There was nothing that was planned. That's not that we would have tried. I used to have one guy in back kitchen, one person. One person who was an apprentice in our kitchen, not a full-fledged cook, because I was doing it on the side. The hotel had allowed me, but people were... So you have to understand that while I was getting popular, it was not easy.
Yeah, that was yeah,
right. That. So it was something. So I would take one apprentice, and he would do everything, and I was doing literally. And I would never pre-cook anything, nothing. So it's not that it is ready.
Yeah.
I would do start to finish whatever time it will take.
Wow.
Start to finish, nothing pre-cooked. Plus, I would not do something which, if I'm not happy with the ingredient. So there's a famous story on fish. There's rainy season, torrential rain pouring. We are filming in Filmistan studio. Last recipe of the schedule, and it's some fish full pomfret. I have to cook, and we would normally do whatever. In one episode, we'll do 3 recipes. We used to do 3 recipes. So it was the last recipe of that episode and of the schedule. So that recipe comes in. It's late in the night. I used to do 2 to 10 shift. That's it. I would not do 12 to 12 anything. 2 to 10 shift. That's it. it came to me. I started. I have this habit of smelling things. Chefs, right? So I smelled it, didn't smell right. I said, cut. So director, Girish, sir, क्या हो गया? I said, ये smell ठीक नहीं है. He said, नहीं सर, बढ़िया दिख रही है. I said, स्मेल ठीक नहीं करे. कैसा एकदम आप इधर आके देखो पीछे यहाँ पे स्क्रीन पे एकदम बढ़िया दिख रही है, एकदम फ्रेश दिख रही है सर. मैं कहा दिख नहीं रही है, स्मेल ठीक नहीं. कहते सर टीवी में थोड़ी स्मेल आ रही है. सर टीवी में कोई स्मेल नहीं आ रही है. यू कुक. ऐसे नहीं, दूसरी फिश तो. There's no extra fish that was there. And I said, मंगा लो. सर अभी तो बारिश इतनी पड़ रही है, फ्रेश फिश कहीं मिलेगी नहीं. सो वी विल नॉट गेट इट. सो आई सेड, so what do we do? So he said, नहीं sir, let's do this, finish it. This is there. I said, I can't do this. This is not. He said, but why can't? I said, see, if I do, my expressions when I'm cooking it, they will not be right, and people will be able to see that. I'll be lying. I can't do it. It's not, and I have never done it. He agreed. He said, sir, let's not do it. We did not finish that episode. Next time, next schedule, we did one recipe, same shirt, same this thing. Said, okay, this schedule, we can't change anything for this recipe. We did that. So everything was always
spontaneous and natural.
Spontaneous
and real.
And real. And real. So we would not use anything which was not edible. So if when we are shooting, dish is finished, the whole crew would come. My God. Hansel became a cook thanks to that show. He loves to cook today.
Yeah.
He loves to cook. Thanks to so genuine just that show, not people who are watching. The crew also became good.
Which is
cooks.
a good test, no? They're actually eating
test, yes.
But there must have been a stage, because the show took off almost immediately. There must have been a stage, you've suggested that, when people began to resent how famous you were? Because you were still working in an organization.
Yeah. So not people. I think the largely it was either the environment that I was in, working environment, or the other hoteliers, probably.
Other chefs, basically. Who in those days tended to be hotel chefs. But
yeah,
then,
largely, yes, largely.
Huh?
But I didn't bother about that ever, and I don't care. It was, yeah, it didn't bother.
But when did you realize that you'd become a star? Did people stop you in the road and ask you for autographs?
I think it's just a natural progression.
You're being all modest, but I will tell the story that we were in Japan. We went to a traditional Japanese restaurant, and this crowd of NRI Indians was there. They all left their tables. They all rushed towards us, and they said, chef, give us an autograph. You remember this?
That's when you have that kind of reach that causes that recognition. I think it's natural.
A lot of people appeared on ZTV. None of them had that kind of impact.
Probably. So actually that part continues even today. I get down on just now.
Yeah.
From the car before entering the hotel. There's a gentleman who's with his wife and a daughter stops me and wants to take a photograph. As we are walking in, and I know that if I stop for 10 seconds, there would be. But I think that's.
But you take this in your stride?
I take it with my stride. I don't cause any extra attention. I don't come with entourage. I don't travel with security guards.
That I've seen.
I don't have extra people around me. At airport, I would not have anyone come to receive me. I would not have someone to drop me. I would refuse buggies. I would do that. And because I think it's important for me to be comfortable. And I'm comfortable the way I am. Because I think all this is nice. But to me, it's more important that I stay who I am. And just because I have more recognition, more money, that should not, because sometimes it can change you.
Very often it changes people. Why sometimes?
Yeah, so I don't want to have that life. I don't want to have that life. I'm more comfortable like this. I think there will be a lot of pressure. So there are times when I'm told, you can't do this. I say, I'm doing it. You stop me. I will do it. There are things that are not, they're social no-nos. When I was doing my show, a dear friend of mine continues to be very dear to me. He used to own one of the biggest PR agencies. I have never hired a PR agency of direct this thing. This, I think, in last, since my daughter has joined, I think last 6 months, this is the first time we are working with someone in our life.
Otherwise?
Never.
Never.
Never. So,
but you do realize that for most people, if you talk about a celebrity chef, it means Sanjeev Kapoor. Vikas was on the show,
right,
and he told a story of how he came for the first season of MasterChef and nobody noticed him. When he was leaving, he'd been noticed and people stopped him at the airport. He said many people, believing the celebrity chef, came up and they said, "Congratulations, Sanjeev ji." And I had to explain I was not Sanjeev.
No. I'm very happy where he has reached, and I am also told बहुत अच्छा लगा विकास जी आपसे मिलके.
That's right.
So I'm very happy.
And I don't believe anybody says that to you. No. But it's a good try.
He's brilliant. So I think the rules were such at that time that I was the first one. I had the first mover advantage.
But to sustain it for so long,
that needs effort.
Yeah. I've heard people telling me from ad agencies, marketing agencies, they're looking for somebody, not for food, for products. And they do surveys and they say, who do people trust? Who do they think is knowledgeable? And you end up always the winner, which is why they get you for campaigns that have nothing to do with food any longer.
Sure.
You're aware of this.
Yes, I am. But that I work on it. It's not that it's not by chance.
Come on, yeah. Where do you work on it?
I work on
You work on being seen as a trustworthy person.
No, not on trust. So trust is no trust.
But you're seen as a trustworthy person.
No, so
that you can't work on.
No, you have to work on it every day.
Why do you say you have to work on it? Because either you're trustworthy or you're not.
No. I think you have to work on it. You have to create body of work which people can trust. And that body of work is not only the work that you are specializing in. All the decisions that you take every time at 3 a.m. in the morning when no one is seeing and it's green, it's red on the road, but you still stop because it's the right thing to do. And there are 1,000 such things that you have to be mindful of every day that you have to do right to win that trust. It cannot come
and you're conscious of that always.
I'm conscious of that because it's something, and this is not the credit that because I have reached here, I have reached here because of all of this. Because this is something which is, I would say, is my upbringing. This is something which I was taught as a child. It's something when I came back after my first foreign tour from ITDC, I was in Russia. I had $90 that were there, and there were 21 of us. And what do we do with those $90? I had to, so I said, "वो गफार market में change करा लेते हैं." That was the there. And I was sharing this story with my brother that everyone is talking about this. What do you think? And I had put this question. My dad, who was reading a paper, and he did not even look at me, and he said, हाँ अभी $90 गफार मार्केट में ब्लैक में बेच देना, फिर कल चोरी करना, परसों डाका डालना, फिर किसी को छुरी मारना, फिर किसी का कत्ल करना. What? And he says, this is how it starts.
It's a slippery slope.
He said, this is how it starts. So every day you have to make sure, and in a day and age when people see gray as right.
Yeah. Now more than ever.
Then more. So how do you, so unless you're mindful of it, unless you work on it, you cannot be trusted. So it's not an easy thing. It's not something, you can't say that you can either be trusted or not. I think it needs effort.
Is that values you've inherited from your family, from your father, that you have to have ethical standards, you have to be trustworthy every day in the dark, even when nobody's looking, you must do the right thing?
Absolutely. I think that's something that's non-negotiable. It's not something that uh, you can do. So we've just started, and we've not talked too much. Venture on social events, weddings, essentially, with a friend. And so first thing we said that cash नहीं लेंगे. तो शादी इंडिया में बिना कैश के? I said, yeah. So how is that? Biggest of the wedding, it does not work like that. I said, no. It's now. So it was first few months. It took team to understand that I was serious. I was not.
Yeah.
They were trying to find ways. I said, no. There's no finding ways. This is how it is. It's either yes or no. And now they come and tell me that. I think, sir, word is getting around a little bit. It'll take time. But I said, yeah. I said, what is the word? I think, sir, people will come to us कि इनके पास में इवेंट कराएंगे ना, तो ये तो this is a validation कि हम सब कुछ ठीक कर
It's
रहे
above
हैं.
board.
I said, see, exactly. So the first hurdle, I would say, is we've already crossed. So I think
But you're also very professional in what you do. I'll tell you another thing. A guy in an ad agency told me that you can take any product to Sanjeev Kapoor. It doesn't matter. It's not just food. And when you take it to him, he will say no. And then you will insist. Then he will name some fabulous rate, which you think you can't afford. Then you will go back, you'll think about it, and you'll readjust the budget because nobody else can do it. And then he will do it. But he will give you 110% of what you've asked for. That's your reputation.
that is true.
Yeah.
That is true. So I've in last so 93 to now, let's say 33 years.
Yeah.
I have worked on less than 25 brands in all.
I can see that because you're very choosy.
One, I'm very choosy, and all my relationships are very, very long.
Yeah.
They're not just 1, 2, 3, 5. They are 10, 15, 20 years relationship. Like Singapore Airlines.
Yeah. Where you've been on that panel of
21st year.
chefs. So, yeah.
This is 21st year now. It's,
Even Gordon Ramsay didn't last that long on that panel, but you have.
Yeah, no, it's, I think, Murata-san and I, we are probably the oldest. So, yeah, that's true. I believe that relationship. So, ZTV show I did for 19 years. And then I started my
Own channel.
But otherwise, so I don't like to break relations. I like to build on them. And the only way to build on them is that if you think that the way you work, the other person should get more value than they think they would. I always say this, that if I have to endorse something, if it is only the familiarity that you are hiring me for, don't hire me. So if you hire me for why this familiarity became like this, there's a brain behind it, only then you should hire. Because if you cannot see that, you'll get frustrated, I'll get frustrated. And so that's the reason. So I deep dive into
whatever you're doing.
Whatever. It could be, so Ariel as a brand. What is that? So my insights on what should be
the messaging.
Not just message, no, on the product.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You get into that as well?
Yeah, I get into that also.
What were your insights?
No. So we were looking at, so it was all about, actually, I don't know if I can talk too much on this, but I can tell you that I'm sorry, because I am just thinking with there is,
what's
there are
confidentiality
on that, what I'm not sure on this, but so now let's say we have had this conversation. This is the first time we are having this conversation, and I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'll go back, check the agreement. So next time I will not put like this.
Yeah.
So I'll make sure that this is, so any contract, whether it is rice, whether it is dal, whether it is detergent, whether it is, so let's say now I'm endorsing Indian oil. I was Indian. But immediately I started to work and realized there was unrealized potential. And the ad that was done with me last was on a division that I was not initially hired for. And they asked me, "Oh, since we are taking your help, can we make a film with you?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "But I said, in contract, let's add that." And we made a film for that. So it is, even now, I continue to work on that. Right from my first endorsement, which was uh, which was on soya granules, and second was a microwave oven. So I went into detail of both.
My God.
How that is made, I have to see the process. What is how do you extract that? What is extrusion? At what temperature it will happen? Or even today, let's say my company Wonder Chef.
Yeah.
If I have to look at that, the products. So coffee machine. What kind of coffee machine? What bar pressure? How it will be delivered? What is it? Or a simple tawa. So let's say a dosa tawa. Uh, how the browning would happen, then how would it come out? What's the material that is to be used? So I enjoy it, not for anything else. And that's why there are many things people say, "Have you read this book?" And could be some fiction, and I may not have because I don't have that time. I would love to. It's not that I don't, or for that matter, many shows. Netflix में देखा नहीं देखा. So I don't know. It was many months. Dhurandhar dekhi? No, I have not seen it. No, I've not seen the second one.
Okay.
Because Ranveer insisted, not Ranveer Singh, Ranveer Barar.
Okay.
So he says, कि शेफ वैसा कैसे होता है? बहुत अच्छी मूवी है. मैं तो फिल्म स्टार हो गया इसलिए. So नहीं. I said, okay, if you take me, I will go. So he booked.
When did you actually give up being a professional chef at a restaurant or a hotel?
I have not given up.
No, you don't work for anybody now.
Doesn't mean anything. So
you
when
worked for Centaur, then you gave that up,
so
and then
now-
since then you worked for yourself. No?
No, I work for many people now. I work for many more people. The brands that endorse, the companies that I.
But you don't work for them. You work with them.
Yeah, all.
You're not
So-
an employee.
No, I'm an employee. I get salary from many
Okay.
people.
All right.
So technically,
Technically, you
that's
are
not
an
true.
employee.
Yeah. That's why I'm.
But when did you leave the Centaur?
left. Okay, so
I accept
know.
the digression.
Yeah. No. I must tell you, there's a joke on this. So when I was working there, and we had a new MD who had come in. Mr. Bhandari had left.
Anil Bhandari.
He had
Late Anil
left,
Bhandari,
and a new MD had come in, and he was not happy that I was MD's favorite. I was popular than him. More people knew me, and they didn't know him, kind of a thing. So it was not life was not easy for me. So I was getting into the hotel one day. He was in the lobby, and he looks at me and he says कि अरे आप तो ईद के चांद हैं. मैं कहा वो भी सर 2 बार दिख जाता है, मैं तो वो भी नहीं दिखता. तो he says अच्छा. So he says कि अच्छा आपने कब से काम कर रहे हैं सेंटोर में? कितना टाइम हो गया? मैं कहा 3 साल सर. 3 साल काम किया मैंने सेंटोर में. So he says कि I thought you've been here longer. I said, yeah, I've been here longer. I've worked for 3 years, but I've been here for 5.
You said that to your MD.
सच था ना, झूठ तो नहीं बोल सकता.
You couldn't have been his favorite.
No, I was not. But so मेरा एक डायलॉग है, सच बोलो सुखी रहो. So now I was happy कि I've
Told him the truth.
I've told him the truth that I only worked for 3. बाकी उसके बाद.
Why did you leave eventually?
My brother pushed me.
What did he say?
He said, "What are you doing?" I was not sure. I thought that, my God, how can I leave all this comfort? Money was not there. Money was my last drawn salary check was just about 10,000 rupees.
Really?
Yes.
And you were the most famous chef in India.
That's right. I had a bike. I didn't have a car.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't have a house to live in. The company had given me a car. When I quit, between Alyona and she was working. Our bank balance was less than 1 lakh rupee. We didn't have a house to live in.
And yet you quit.
I quit because I thought that I could live in a house which was available to me. And I thought, if house is there, then in Bombay you can do that. And Alyona is working. We can, and we had two daughters. I think we can manage. And that was the struggle. So my brother, he pushed me, and he said that no, your risk is very low. You can do many things, and you can the risk is very low. You should. He's a chartered accountant. He's a strategy consultant, so he knows. He knew what he was talking. But I was scared. So he actually would say, he wrote down the resignation letter. He did that, and on day I had to submit that, he called me, said, "Have you given the resignation? Have you given the resignation?" So when I did, I said, "Okay, I've done that." And once I quit, I realized that I should have quit 3 years ago.
But what did you do to make a living once you quit?
Oh, there were many things.
Like what?
So I was doing small little things. I had started my own website.
Okay.
There was no money
You were
being made.
actually one of the pioneers in food on the internet. No?
Oh,
Your website came very early.
1990. Before I had quit, while I was working, it was 1995. I started. Probably one of the. Okay, I don't have 100% correct data, but I was once told it was the 7th website launched from India.
Yeah, you were
So
a
it
real
was-
pioneer.
yeah,
I
it was-
remember that.
It was early days. So we were. So that was there, but that was not giving me any
Income.
money. I used to do small consulting for restaurants. I got a couple of endorsements. I got Tata Salt. I got Surf Excel. And I got... so Centaur, where I used to work, the director finance of that company, his brother-in-law had a restaurant and a club in Dubai. So he said that, I want to do a restaurant with you, the director of finance. And he said, I'll quit my job. I want to do this. I said, why me? He said, no, not because you are famous. That is not the reason. I want to do a restaurant with you. Before that, he used to actually be with the Taj Group. And
Okay.
yeah. So he said, the reason I want to do this with you, because I have, in my career, I have not met a chef who understands money. He says, your numbers are very good. You understand.
Even then, yeah?
My numbers have been very good. So he said, so with you, I will never lose money. So I will make money. So for that, so before that, I was doing consulting for others, and I would do menus, I would do training, I would do that.
And presumably you were making more money from this than you ever did from Centaur.
Oh, of course. Like one restaurant that I did, and we were talking, and that was Pooja Dhingra's father.
Okay.
He opened a Mexican restaurant, and I had done that, and we were laughing because the Pooja and her father had come to the office last week, and we were laughing about it. I said, that time I charged your dad a lot of money, because by my standard it was too much money, 80,000 rupees back then. So I was, of course, I was earning money. So this restaurant in Dubai, few endorsements.
The restaurant
Books
Dubai
started.
opened.
Opened, and how? It was like queues.
Wow.
No ad, nothing. No social media. There was no social media. Zero. And I was cautious. So I said that we will not do any advertising. So the owner wanted full page Khaleej Times. I said, no, nothing. For first 1 month, let me do the trials. Let me make sure that everything runs. Let me tighten all nut bolts. So we had put a board, and that it was covered, and we just, there was a brown paper cover. We just removed that, and I had gone there for 3 days. I stayed there for 60.
Wow.
I stayed there for 60 days. Harpal, Chef Harpal Singh
Sukhi.
Sokhi, he was with me in Centaur. So he was one of the first chefs who came and joined me because he knew what I was doing. So he was there initial opening time, and it was madness of another kind. We launched a menu which was way ahead of its time. When I think after week 1, we changed the menu
Okay.
because there was no bhindi masala, there was no butter chicken, there was nothing which an Indian restaurant. We were way too ahead of our time. And the way I had thought this through, I said I want a restaurant which is it should be a 5-star restaurant at half the price.
Okay.
So that was the only brief. And we worked like that, and we did everything like that, and I was popular. And queues, so
Really?
it was. So we had planned that the restaurant would take about 30 months
To break even.
to break even. In 13th month, the whole investment,
Wow.
forget break even.
Yeah.
So that was the state of that restaurant.
You were also the only Indian chef then who had an international following, because ZTV was seen globally.
That's
But
correct.
I have known people in England or wherever
That's
who
correct.
used to sit, in those days there weren't so much, would sit with a pen and paper
Yes,
and write down your recipes when you did them.
that's
You
correct.
were really a person who taught them how to cook, because
That's
over
true.
there they didn't really understand Indian food, and you were the living representation of our culinary heritage.
Yeah, and see, over a period of time, you realize what impact you've had.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks ago, we were in London and in south of France, and 2 instances happened in both. One, I think, in Aix-en-Provence, Provence, and one in London. Went to one small restaurant in London. My daughter wanted to have a tiramisu. And it was in between. It was not lunch, dinner. We said, okay, let's find something close. And we sit there, and there's this girl, young, and I said, I know you.
Really?
Okay. I said, how do you? You do. I follow your recipes. And she knew everything about my history. And she was too young to know.
Of the TV show in those days.
Yeah. I said, no, my mom also is a big.
Wow.
And she was Turkish.
Really? Not just Indian?
No, not Indian. Not Indian. And then from Turkey, she had lived in Kabul. And now she's working. She was working as a waitress in a barista in a restaurant. And then the whole restaurant came, and they took pictures and happened.
This
Similar
was in
stuff.
London?
This was in London.
And what happened in Aix-en-Provence?
Similar stuff. Iranian girl. Similar thing. So it's then you start to realize that, okay, I know this if my show was in English. If the show was in English, it would have been global. See, now I can walk. Actually, now it's difficult because Indians are everywhere. Very big, but still, it's not something the way it is there in. So in France, you can
get away.
You can get away. Maybe London, New York, but there are many places where it would be a South Asian who would know you, and the chances are that they would know, whether how young or old does not matter. They would know, but if it was this kind of following with English language, it would have been a different. I would have come here in a private jet.
You are still the richest chef in India.
That does not matter.
But you don't seem to care about that.
I don't care.
You're good with money, but you're not extravagant on yourself. You live
I
quite
don't know.
simply.
My daughters would love to differ. They say, कि हमारी inheritance क्यों उड़ा रहे हो?
But you actually have the money has not changed you at all.
No. Money does not matter. Because I believe that it's just the zeros at the end. Because what you add is just a zero, right? So it's a zero. It does not matter.
Yes. One way of looking at it. Are you aware of that? Of the impact you've had?
I know this. And if not me, someone would have done it. It's not that India was waiting. I think
After
chefs.
you on television, the next big TV event was MasterChef 20 years later. 30
that's
years later, 20 years later at least, no? So, I mean, if someone would have done it, why didn't they do it for those 20 years? And even MasterChef had to come to you eventually, right?
That's another story. And actually, there also I say this that we still have to work on it. And people ask me this on MasterChef, especially. I said unless we create winners or all those people, it's the alumni that makes an institution shine. It's not the professors. So alumni has to shine. So Food when we launched, we did 1 year of Food Maha Challenge. Didn't make sense commercially. It was ratings were low. 1/20th the budget would give us higher reach and rating. So we did not do it for a second season. But the winner of that show is probably bigger than all the MasterChef winners today in India. Saransh Goyla.
Oh, really? Saransh won it? How amazing.
So
and Saransh just sold his own brand for a fortune, created something. That's something to be proud of.
So see, that's what I say this, because I would spend a lot of time with all of them, that how to do this, why, what, where. And if that is not done, even now, I know this, 2017 when I got the Padma Shri. So everyone said, "अरे अब तो सर शेफ्स को सबको मिलना शुरू हो जाएगा." ऐसे नहीं होता. It takes a lot.
Yeah.
You have to make sure that you tick all boxes. You do this. What is your body of work in this field? How you're touching? What is your impact? All that is seen. It's not that easy. And I'm glad that last year Damu from South,
who's done a lot for chefs.
This is done a lot. You need to do.
Why did you do MasterChef?
Why did I do? Why did I not do?
No, why did you do it?
Okay. So when it first came to me, my condition they did not meet.
What was your condition?
That I should get paid more than Akshay Kumar. 1 rupee more.
This was like an ego thing, no? 1 rupee kya hota?
1 rupee more. So they said, कि सर हमने वो साइन कर लिया आपके. This was first season. And there was nobody else who could do it but me.
Yeah.
It was quite obvious. But when they came, they said कि ये साइन कर ले. I said, very good. I said, मेरी एक ही condition है. Sir, नहीं sir, हमने इतना कर दिया. They did not agree. It didn't bother me. I was happy. And so I would still get feelers. Sir, एक episode में तो आ जाओ इसमें. नहीं आ रहा. मैं नहीं करूँगा. I will not do it. So third season, they actually say, no sir, it's not working. We need you. What do you think we should do? And I said, I don't think I can. No, we'll do exactly what you say and all of that, which was not the case. But that time, the reason, and I used to do this, we were running our TV channel, Food had started, and I was starting to make other chefs big, so Saransh, Harpal, and all of them. And I said that the only way the whole thing can become bigger, and that was the reason of starting food, not the way you work, right? It's not what you will get. You make sure the whole environment has to become bigger, right? So I said, if MasterChef fails in this country, we are doomed. This business of food, entertainment, it's not good for that. So whatever I can do, I'll try. So that was the reason I did. And I still feel that anyone who does anything in food, it has to succeed.
Did they pay you 1 rupee more than everybody else?
Oh, obviously they would have.
Obviously.
I would. That is non-negotiable. That is, no, that if I can't command that,
then there's something wrong with the system. But
Yeah.
let's talk a bit about food. We haven't talked about it. One of the things we haven't mentioned is that if you Google any Indian recipe, the first thing that comes up is Sanjeev Kapoor's recipe or a video of you making it. I'm told that you have a repository of Indian recipes that is equal to nobody has anything even like it. Is that true?
Could be.
Do you have a huge repository of
We
it?
do. We probably have the largest library.
Yeah.
We not just video in terms of not just my recipes, but let's say information on books, information, other authors, everybody. We probably have the largest. No college can compete. We probably have that, and I don't know. I have not counted that who's doing how many.
I don't think there's anybody else. But let's talk about the recipes that you put on the internet, etc. Many dishes now are defined by Sanjeev Kapoor's recipes. You're aware of that no alternative recipe gets a look in because people see Sanjeev Kapoor, they go on Google and they stick with that recipe. So in some ways, your invisible influence on food, because the recipes have changed according to your recipe, is enormous.
Yeah, because see, I have a viewpoint and I believe this is how it should be seen. And I share that and I share it unconditionally. And I share it and I encourage people that it's not, my intent is not that you should do it my way. You use that as a base and create your own way. So the influence is to make Indian food relevant. The intent is not so relevance is the way I see it is and there are few things that trouble me with Indian food and I silently work on those in my way, and people I may not share, I may not tell that this is my intent, this is why I'm doing this. Few things I'm able to achieve, few things maybe over a period of time they'll get achieved. See, the world understand Indian food of restaurants, and that too only from northern part of India. That is not Indian food. That is just not even 0.001% of Indian food. So the real food of India is cooked at home.
Yeah.
And we need to share that more. We need to talk the philosophy more. We also have to make it relevant.
When you say relevant, what do you mean?
So relevance is, so let's say little over 100 years ago, we didn't have refrigerators in India.
Yeah.
Right? And everything that you would keep outside would become bad. So it was quite obvious that you would cook everything with more fat, more oil, more salt, more spices, more acidity, because you wanted to keep it for a day at least.
Yeah.
Right? So you were creating all our curries, dishes, or literally pickles for a day at best.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, today, we don't need to do that. We don't need to cook, when we used to cook spinach. So one of my first recipes of on TV, that first recipe that I cooked was Sham Savera. Why did it become popular? Because I kept spinach green. When we were taught, we would cook spinach for 20 minutes and it looked brown, it looked green. I worked in New Zealand. I said, why are we making spinach? Why are we cooking so much? You understand the science, you make it like that. Now the relevance is that you bring the flavor, you make it, but you don't need to do things which are archaic, which are not needed today, which will take us. And in name of authenticity, we cannot do things the way we look. 2 billion years ago, we looked like monkeys. Do we want to become authentic? We don't want to become authentic, right? Yeah. So it has to be relevance. So sometimes authenticity is not what was. Authenticity is you bring out the best for today and maybe define a way for tomorrow.
When you look at the Indian food scene today, do you think we've come a long way or do you think we lost our way?
We have not gone anywhere.
Explain that.
I think we are... there are a little bit more conversations that are happening. So for many years, we were suffering from shame that we are Indian. Anything Indian was a shame. So nobody was entertaining with Indian food. Nobody was celebrating Indian food or anything Indian for that matter. You would go to London, you would see a shirt made in India, covered by KI. Right? It happened with anything that was Indian. And this is very, very recent that we have started to own our Indianness. We have started to celebrate a little bit, not too much. And that impact of, let's say, last 10, 15 years is too short a period to say that we have come a long way. We have not, we have maybe made a beginning, but I think there has to be a tsunami of Indianness that will have to wipe the past. All that we have suffered, it will need lot of work to change that. It's not easy. It will change. You cannot stop it. I think that good part is know the demographic dividend that we have. I think we will leverage it. Everyone will embrace it. But we will need to still clear. We'll need to give direction.
Yeah.
I think that direction is lacking currently.
Yeah.
That direction is...
Everybody's on his own. There's no clear direction.
Correct.
Where we're
that
going.
direction is currently lacking. We are doing things in isolation. We are doing things... so it'll take a lot. But I have hope. I have not...
given up?
I have not given up. I think it will need might of maybe a lot of government push, maybe collective effort of Indians, not just chefs. Chefs are big influences.
But somebody has to eat the food and talk about it, no?
Yes, that is true. So we need to... but I think good part is people have started to internalize it and not be ashamed of it. So that's one part.
That's the first part.
That's the first
part.
The beginning. Now let's say that, okay, now this is... See, all said and done. We are still, in our weddings, we have started to dress in Indian attire. We are still sitting not in an Indian attire, right? It's not that we are ashamed, but this has not become... it's अभी भी कोई टोपी वाला देख लेते हैं, कुर्ते पजामे में देखते हैं तो थोड़ा ऐसा लगता है,
yeah,
right? So food, I think we are at that cusp maybe. And I have hope that it will reach somewhere in our lifetime is my hope. Maybe not. But directionally it has started. But I get confused. That if I was to given this task,
what would you do?
What would I do? And then I have to say that. See, our biggest strength is our biggest problem.
Which is?
We have too much.
Too much? Yeah. Of food, certainly, in terms of culture, diversity, heritage.
Everything. So, when you have too many roads to take, you reach nowhere.
Is there any way you've gone to in the last 15 years, Indian restaurants, Indian chefs, that you thought this may be a way forward?
Many. I think many are trying.
Tell me some.
Many are trying.
Tell me some.
I think... in isolation, it's not something.
No,
maybe a few dishes. I would say not in complete. And I don't blame anyone because the agenda. See, restaurant is a different business. The restaurant is not something which is where they own that I'm an Indian. This is my responsibility, right?
Yeah.
It's a business, right? So let's look at what Gagan started with. The brilliance that he has. And he certainly gave it that respect that...
Sure.
But that's peer-to-peer respect.
Yeah.
Good start. But that's not... how much of that India can own? How much of that India can take forward? How much of that India can form as its own legacy? I don't know.
But that is the big question. No?
So that's why. And he's not answering that question. I don't think so. I have not spoken to him on this, but I don't think he's answering that question, or he's attempting to do that. He works on excellence and delivers that excellence beautifully, right? And that's a great start. That validation, that respect, because whenever there is anything that will be done, people say, oh, no, they can't do it because there is somebody who's already done it. So role he has played, brilliant. Right. So whether Garima who is doing, or Vikas what is done, amazing work, because today you don't have to say that with sense of shame. It's something that he can make through one restaurant. He can make people line up, and it's an Indian restaurant. Great. Directionally, Indian food story is much bigger.
Yeah.
That's a bigger responsibility. So it's like 2016. So this I was asked by Minister of Food Processing back then. So World Food India, there was new thing that was India was launching for the first time. They wanted to call food companies, food importers, to talk about Indian food, Indian manufacturing, food manufacturing. And they asked me that how can we curate it, whatever. And I did that, and said we should give them some gift. And I said, "Sir, masale kaise potli bana ke denge?" I said, potli, that's a good idea. Make that a chest, and khazana bana ke do. All of that we did. And I said, but spices is okay, but let's do millets. What are millets?
Really?
This is 2016.
My God.
Millets. We started talking about that, millets, where, what, this. And my reason for talking about millets was personal. I would do shows, and people had started little bit in Nagi, Nachni, this is finger millet, what do you call in this Hindi, what in Marathi, all that. So I had Googled millet in Hindi, and Google came up and said chara.
Oh, really?
And that bothered me.
Yeah.
I said, this is not right. As a child, mom would give this, however bad it was, and she said, ye kha lo, and we used to hate that roti. We didn't know ki ye kiski bani hai, which millet it was, and she'll say, taakat deta hai, cement ka jaise taakat deta hai. That is how, this is my mom saying this. I laugh about this to her. Kaise aapne khana hai, aapko hame khilaya hame. So it was personal to me. I said, no, this is not right. This is not cattle feed. So anyway, I got my way around. We talked about this. I made a world record for that.
For 1 minute?
At World Food India. I seed few things which people don't understand. And I know that I have a long-term vision with that. And in retrospect, you'll say, oh. And some things I would never tell. I would never talk about it also. So said, how can we do? I said, nobody knows your ministry. Let's create a dhamaka. So what dhamaka? I said, let's do a Guinness World Record. What Guinness World Record? Said, we make a khichdi. Made a khichdi of millets.
That was the world's largest
khichdi that was done. But that time the millets were not being talked the way you hear now. I was lucky. I had few conversations with our Honorable Prime Minister. We discussed millets. Real game changer, I think, happened two. I think one, International Year of Millets. United Nations did that. And our PM took complete ownership and did that. And then suddenly there was G20 4 years ago. Who do we have as Sherpa for that? I read Mr. Amitabh Kant. I messaged, I said, Mr. Kant, you know my passion, and you know. And by that time, PM had already started I said, leave it to me. Everything was with millet. All menus with millet.
That's right.
The conversations, everything was with millet. And suddenly you don't have to do. But when we say that this started in 2016, and I shared the same thing with the Honorable President recently. We were having conversation, and I said, ma'am, tribal foods of India, what are you doing?
It's true.
Say, what do you mean? So then I shared this. I said, I think, whenever we hear something about tribal food. So work is started. I can tell you this.
Well, I
work
hope
is
it's as successful as your
Let's
Millets
see.
initiative. No?
Let's see. See, it takes time. It's not. So when you say direction for Indian food, I think there are. It needs policy. It needs a lot of thinking. It needs core group whose job is to do this. Would I like to do this? I would love to.
No, I'll put it different way. Is anyone better than you to do this?
Oh, no, I'm sure. See,
No, I don't
this
think
is
there
not. No, no.
You're
I'm
being
sure.
very modest.
No, it's not about modesty. Veer. I think there are many brilliant people who are there.
No, not
it's
very
just
many
that
people. There are not very
I'm-
many people who has successful popularizers as you are. You can reach out to the world.
No. So I think how can I do it? Maybe I have the luxury of doing it. It's because people are there. It's not that people are not capable. It's not that they don't have that luxury. They don't have that. They can't immerse into it. They cannot give that time. Fortunately, from very early on, with my success, I realized that I need very little.
Yeah.
So I can give time. If I have to give to Akshay Patra, I can give not just money, I can give a lot of time, I can dedicate resources, I can do a lot for that. But it needs, you need to have it to give.
Yeah.
So I have the time, I have the intent, I'm willing to give.
Oh, great. When you look back at your career, and you have many, many years to go, but at this stage of your career, what do you think is your greatest achievement?
I don't know.
Yeah?
Seriously.
You think still to come?
I don't know. I don't reflect.
Really?
No.
You're
Seriously.
always looking forward.
Yeah, I don't reflect. That's probably one of my weaknesses. I don't reflect.
You referred to the Padma Shri thing. I just wanted to ask you, how did you get the Padma Shri and how did you feel?
It's a long story, but so Padma Shri, every year Padma Shri would be announced,
Yeah.
and people, if there is any conversation that is happening, I would have people say, "आपको तो मिल गया होगा ना?" नहीं, कभी बात ही नहीं हुई. And then I started to question that why it's not being done. And then I realized it's a process. It's not something you just get it. It's not something which is there for, does not happen like this. So I spoke to Mr. Bhandari, who was always for chefs, and he said, yeah, ये तो बात करनी चाहिए. We should speak. So he spoke to few people, and we met few people, and started to talk about this recognition for chefs. It was not about that I should get or not. I said chefs should get it. Because when I launched my first book, I did not, the launch was done at President House. Okay. And I had taken 20 chefs. So Chef Manjeet Singh Gill was there, Chef Gupta was there, Chef Sibbal, all the chefs of prominence, Devinder was there. Everyone I took, and I told the president that this is book on Indian cooking, and it's not my book, it is book of all of us. So I've always looked at life like that. So I said, no, chefs need to be recognized. And so then Mr. Bhandari called me one day. He says, कि किसी को समझ नहीं आ रहा क्या? I said, let me explain. So I, so in the ministry, I was explaining, and I said, see, when you are recognizing people, so either you are recognizing skills or professions or somebody who has an impact. He says, yeah, but chefs, I said, so there's no precedence. I said, precedence? Yeah, of course, that's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah. There's no precedence. I said, but finer arts you celebrate, right? Film personalities you do, popular people you do, acting
singers,
you do, singers, painters, doctors. So I said, chef is all in one. So what do you mean? I said, you celebrate and you honor somebody who has mastered one sense. So what do you mean? I said, a painter is, you can only see a painting. You cannot hear it. You cannot smell it. You cannot taste it. Singing, only hearing. I said, food is we master all 5 senses. So it's a higher skill set than all these people, and you just ignore it. Started to hear what I was saying. It was not easy, no precedence, nothing. So from that process, it took about 7 years.
7 years.
7 years. And so then it finally came that, okay, this is in consideration. And what do you have to say? Now it is about, we will give a chef, and everyone thinks you are the right, but we've been asked that, is there anyone else? I said, yeah, sure, you should, and you should look at that. And it came down to 2 names.
Who was the two?
Chef Imtiaz Qureshi.
Yeah.
And Chef Sanjeev Kapoor.
Okay.
And I get a call that, what is your view? I said, he should get it.
You said that?
Yes. Mr. Bhandari is not there today, but he was witness to it. He knew it. And so the year I got, the year before he had got it. So we exactly knew at that time. Not that it was known, but it was in consideration. It was because, one, you have to apply. Yeah. Either you or someone else would apply. It's not that it just happens.
Drops out of the sky.
It does not happen. There is a process that is there. And then you have to work on your body of work. And I often joke about this. And I didn't realize, I just got involved with Akshay Patra. And I said that when I started working with Akshay Patra, look at the result I got. Yeah. The benefit was I got Padma Shri. So I actually talk about this to chefs, that make your body of work in a way that it's not just about either. It's not about your skill. It's not only how good at your skill. What is the impact of that skill? Yeah. That is because these awards are largely that. What's the impact that
on society?
On society, though. Yeah. So at large.
But I mean, I'm going to use this podcast to say, on behalf of anybody who makes any kind of living out of food in the media, forget chefs. We owe you a lot. We owe you a lot for making food.
I think you
are food
being
the conversation. We owe you a lot for giving chefs and people in the food business respect. I don't know if you realize that.
Vir, you have been always very kind to me. You continue to be very kind
it's the truth.
To me. No, but
it's the truth, and it's been an honor and a privilege to interview you.
Thank you very much, as always. And there are very few podcasts I say yes
Yes,
to.
I know that.
So my daughter, who handles this now, and has this difficult job of saying no. Yeah. She came to me. He said, "वो तो आपके दोस्त हैं, वो तो आप." I said, "Yes, बिल्कुल हैं, बिल्कुल." I said, "No, he's also. You also need people who make you look good. So Vir always has made me look good. So thank you for doing that."
Thank you so much.
Thank you.